solo talk, let's talk these ideas. Red solo talk, let's talk these ideas. Red solo talk.
Welcome to the Red Solo Talk podcast. The opinions shared here, purely those of hosts and guests, are intended for entertainment only and shouldn't be considered professional advice. The content is based on our hangouts and doesn't necessarily represent any other individuals' or organizations' views. By listening, you agree that the Red Solo Talk podcast and its affiliates bear no liability for any impact from your use or interpretation of the information presented. Listener discretion is advised.
Let's do a quick round table.
Oh, yeah.
It is, the first week of June? You gave me a bomb because I was accurate about it.
No, it was kind of...
I appreciate it,
It was
man.
kind of a sound check, too.
So now you took it away. That's fucked up. First week of June.
First of the month.
Kids getting out. Summertime. So far, how you feeling? Let's do the ladies first. How you feeling?
Feeling great.
Feeling
Happy
good?
to be here, yeah.
Feeling good? You was telling me you hustling. You the hardest
Hardest worker in the room.
Yeah, for real.
Yep, always never not working.
Yeah, that's your slogan. I see you posting a lot. Never not working. You know what? I like it. I definitely like it. The go-getters. I think more women need to operate on that level.
I mean, at this day and age, it's like, I have to.
Why you say that?
Why not? It's a different world. Everybody got to get their own money now.
Corporate America
Yeah.
won. They won their war to double the labor pool.
Exactly.
You know how that all came about.
World War II?
We sent all the men to war.
Yeah.
That's true.
There aren't anymore.
Oh, yeah.
What? What happened?
I said.
You sent them all to war, and then what happened?
Oh yeah,
then the women had to work.
America sent all the dudes to World War II. Now he was cracking on me about my pronunciation. I'm sorry, man.
Chewing gum on the pie.
It's no bad habits.
We're just talking about mic etiquette.
I'm getting it together, guys, slowly but surely. So yeah, America sent everybody to war. So the women went into the workforce, and then it sounds innocent, but that has rippling effects because women were just like, hold on, you got to remember, like culturally, women didn't hold that role in the dynamics of a family. So when they started being like, man, I'm making money, like you, when they came back home and the husbands, was on a like, let's get back into the our natural roles. I'm sure a lot of women. That's why we started getting the women rights and voting. Which one came first? I forget.
Between what?
When women decided to want to vote in World War II.
I'm not sure.
I feel like the voting came first.
I don't remember when the suffrage, because, I wasn't born at that time, so I don't have like... I'm actually, how you can kind of put things on events on a timeline? Like, I was in 5th grade when 9/11 happened. I was,
You was in 5th grade?
Yeah.
It was in 1920 when women started to vote.
So that's around the same time, no?
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
What's Buddy name that Joe Rogan be referring to to kind of look stuff up?
Jamie. Young Jamie.
That's who Miami Babe might be. But
without further ado, let's we're already getting into conversations.
All right. I was
let the people know who we are, what we're doing here.
What's up, everybody, man?
Red Solo Talk.
Red Solo Talk. We back at it again. So thankful. I am your host, Audio Jones, and I'm with the hostess that know the mostest,
Manny El Fuerte,
and a very special guest, the hardest working woman in Miami, Miss
Maddie.
Soon to be permanent co-host.
You heard?
Thank you.
If we convince her, if we win her over.
Maddie, a.k.a. Miami Bay. Hey.
There you go. Hey. Yeah, we needed to add some more elements to the show, guys. Too much man. I heard a term. I heard a term today called mansplaining or some shit. It was like a real thing. Like
I've heard of mansplaining before.
Yeah, so we're hoping to advance the conversation.
I know. We do this live. You don't see it live, but we do it live.
A little technical difficulty. It's fine. I'm sure you can see
it is Red Solo Talk, but it can't be called Red Solo Talk without having Red Solo cups. And every episode, we try a new drink. It could be a whiskey, a beer, a cocktail, a vodka, tequila. You name it, we'll try it, we'll drink it. And this week, we have gin and tonic, but not just any gin. We have Hendrick's Flora Adora. It's a limited edition gin with natural flavors, distilled and bottled in Scotland. From our cabinet of curiosities, Hendrick's Flora Adora is a limited release from Miss Leslie Gracie's cabinet of curiosities. For this luscious masterpiece, Miss Gracie has selected very enticing flowers beloved by our nectar-loving friends of the garden. I'm guessing they mean like the bees and shit. Exquisite with tonic and a slice of cucumber, or perhaps try it in a Hendrick's Flora Adora Wild Garden Cup, which I guess that's a custom recipe that they have here. And yeah, so gin and tonic, special edition with tasting flowers.
People gonna love this part of the show because the way you narrate and explain the alcohol, man, you do a great job, man.
That was amazing.
Yes.
I tip my hat to you, buddy.
I definitely taste the enticing flowers.
Yeah, I proposed gin. We were supposed to be drinking kava.
Future episode.
As an alternative to liquor. I chose gin because we haven't done it on the show yet. So this is really cool. You know, it's a first. And I haven't had gin. My first experience with gin was something called Beefeater. And it was disgusting. And I tossed my cookies. So I'm giving it another go, and I'm not mad at this. It definitely tastes like higher shelf to me.
You like it so far?
Yeah, it's got a vibe.
So you're not a big drinker, Maddie, and you're drinking the gin and tonic. What are your thoughts?
So because I am not a drinker, I think it's actually pretty
good.
Pretty good. It's okay.
Okay.
Not too strong.
That's interesting.
It doesn't taste too bad. It definitely tastes the floral taste that it has.
The notes of like the floral elements, you know. So that's right, women's. Y'all ain't just got to drink Casamigos. You know, you could probably go and try yourself some gin.
Yes, expand your taste.
Expand your taste and palate. Oh, yes. Let's topics. Oh, shit. Yo, this co-host. Let me tell you something.
Don't fuck around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got some interesting topics for you guys. I hope so. I did a little bit of an experiment here, and I did a little research this time around to see if we can touch bases on some of what's going on in the world.
So, if we're going in, I'm going to come back up now.
Okay. Minor technical difficulties, guys. Bear with us. We do this live, even though it's not live.
On my phone like a bell. All right, it's there. It's up.
It's up? Okay. Wind turbines.
So we can break the ice though, right? Round table. How we all doing? What's going
on in your life?
Well, yeah, what's new in everyone's life? What's the current update?
Let's all right.
We have to get right into it.
Let's ease off
like
into
robots.
Because you just it's just oh man, that was a sexy topic. Wind turbines. These.
We need to find our sexy segue.
That's your job, nigga.
All right,
you know what I mean. Say what?
We can start with topic.
Yeah, we can
start with one.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. No,
yeah.
We can jump all over the board.
We'll let you.
Yeah.
We will let Maddie pick the first topic. Period. It doesn't have to be on the. It doesn't have to be on the screen.
Oh yeah.
But going with what's on.
All right, that works.
The screen. We could go with number 6.
All right.
That seems interesting.
Number 6, navigating the dating world post 30. Oh, I got too much to say on that.
So
I ain't gonna start.
But what's new? What's the newest, latest, and greatest in the life of Maddie?
Oh. Starting the podcast with you guys.
Hey.
That's what's new.
So you see yourself motivated to do multiple episodes?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Come on, man. Only getting greater. Hell yeah.
See, we're doing something right. Y'all get with the program. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yo, you just moved up the producer of the show, bro. For reals.
I'm enjoying my weekend. I'm planning to go to Santorini, my first long distance flight. So I'm freaking out about being jet lagged and doing research on how to avoid jet lag and asking advice. And so I have my plan. I have my plan to avoid it. 8 hours to London and then 4 hours to Santorini.
Wow.
God damn.
So that's gonna be interesting. So probably the next episode after this one will probably be talking about how it went.
It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. I heard that's where all the, the rich people going right now. Greece, Santorini.
That's different.
So I guess I'm gonna play pretend for a week. What about you, Audio?
Man, just same old same. Trying to take over the world.
You're not gonna compliment me on
the cups.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
So let me tell you why he's not just a hostess that know the mostest. My wonderful co-host, went out and said, "Man, we gonna do it a little different." And he put together Maddie's yours, we getting yours.
In production.
It's in production. And he's got these cups, and what we're gonna be doing, we'll probably explain that later. But man, thank you, man, for being so thoughtful, man, and taking the extra steps to to make the show that much more entertaining.
Well, 99% of what you see in here is you. So
And,
it's the least I could do.
You're such a good guy, man. They should give you a Nobel Prize for what you do for the world. Nah, I really do. I do. I mean, it's the one thing I like about you, man. You don't do nothing like half cocked. Is that like pause moment?
Yeah.
But no, that's like a real saying, right? You don't do like half cocked. It's like,
Sorry.
damn, man. Y'all got to explain.
Half-assed?
Y'all, man.
Half-assed? That's the one you were probably...
Nah, it really is half cocked. That's the actual saying, but I think when you discussing shit with men, you should never use that word.
I go full cock.
Whoa, so that I never heard. I never heard.
Following your logic. Just follow your logic. That's the icebreaker.
This nigga always taking it.
So how do you use your cock to date post 30? That's the segue.
That's a great segue.
You said break the ice. I thought you broke the ice before. You just broke it right now, man. Yeah, fucking giant glacier falling right now.
I blame the gin.
Yeah, man, you might have to pace yourself. You going crazy. I don't know if I want to tackle it right away because it's once I get started.
That's just
I believe in you.
That's what we want. Yeah.
Well, you ladies first.
See, I think you should start the discussion.
All right,
the
so
fact that I'm not even over 30 yet. So. I'm sorry.
So old niggas. It's like I don't relate to you, old niggas.
I'm not sure yet. I think I got 1 month left. Then I'll let you know.
Your shit is coming up.
I'll let y'all know.
That shit coming up. Okay.
So navigating the dating world post 30. We plan to engage in a conversation about the challenges of dating after 30 based on there was a BuzzFeed article.
And we giving up our sources.
That's a terrible source, by the way. But I guess, for something social like this, it doesn't matter. What advice would we give to y'all listening in?
All right.
I do not recall the BuzzFeed article, though. What was it saying about... okay. It was an article. Did you read the article?
Yeah.
It was an article. It wasn't a real article. It was one of those,
bro, I got notes.
Like one of those clickbait, slideshow things where it's just quotes from... I guess people they interviewed where it was just it was like a list of things that people were just giving their opinion about things that they observed about dating. Like one guy saying, now in my post 30, sex is better because the partners know themselves better and are more whatever. Another one was saying like the bad thing about it is people come with baggage. The article was just like bullet points.
Okay.
So
I thought it was like more massive research, but I
didn't read it?
Yeah, of course I did. I read it. I got notes. I got notes right here.
All right. What are your notes on post 30 dating?
Smaller dating pool.
Wouldn't it be bigger for you? I always imagine because, when I was younger, I used to think about like the older guys that date younger girls. But now that I'm older, it makes sense. Like I can see why they would do it. So when you're in your 30s, you have the 20-year-olds you can date, you have the 30-year-olds you can date. I mean, theoretically speaking, you have the 40-year-olds you can date. So I would argue that you have a larger dating pool.
I'll give you some insight because I think I'm probably the one that's probably most closest to this experience at this very moment.
Yeah, because I got into a relationship in my mid-20s and I continue that same relationship into my 30s.
Congrats, man. I'm proud of you, bro. Make it last.
I'm doing something right.
Make it last forever.
So that means
one of us are making progress.
My advice has more weight.
Oh yeah, no. Don't take it into my advice. It's not gonna good. It's not gonna go good. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's so many people in the space, so it's very polarizing because into a degree, I think a lot of what's being the rhetoric that's out there has always kind of been the rhetoric. It's just now more relevant because of where I am in my age. But now you have like every other guy as a content creator is operating from the man sphere, and they have a certain ideology when it comes to dating, especially in your 30s. Like basically, I won't put him on blast. He's saying it online, so I ain't putting him on blast. But there's a lot of people that are saying the same things as far as dating as a man in your 30s, which basically is just like don't date women in their 30s.
Well, they younger.
Date younger, basically. Date younger. They have their reasons for it. I don't know if I absolutely subscribe to it. I get the logic. The logic, but I don't necessarily subscribe to it.
I can agree with that logic. If I pretend and think hypothetically, I got with my current girlfriend when she was in her 20s. If for some reason I end up single tomorrow, I would probably target a similar age that my girlfriend was, the age that I found her.
How old was she? 24?
23.
Pursue, not target, because you sound like really like predatory.
Yeah. Language.
Well,
matters.
She gonna protect us.
I'm a predator.
You're a predator. I am a hunter.
Girlfriend.
So yeah,
target acquired.
I do get it. Date young. My bad. Like I said,
I did it on purpose.
Okay, I'm all right.
It was better than me. Like
I'm rolling. I'm sorry. I do agree with, like I said, the logic of it, but it's a little disruptive because everybody's falling. It's very polarizing. Everybody's like falling into their tribal sections. So dating now is just it's a little more difficult.
And it's different for men and women, right? Like
absolutely different. It's absolutely different.
It's better for men and worse for women.
Oh, that's a good argument. Better for men, worse for women?
Perspective.
Yeah.
Men love to say that, but I would
beg to differ.
Well, I mean, we were just saying how men in general want them younger.
But that doesn't make it better. It just makes them easier. Like men like what's easy.
Yeah.
Like for example, I personally experienced that when I was younger, I dated somebody that was older. Clearly, now that I'm older, I wouldn't operate the same way I would operate when I was 18, 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
I was clueless. Mm-hmm. So it's very convenient for an older man to be with a younger woman because they're just easier to
right.
to guide.
They can be influenced.
But if that's your preference, if that's what you want, like that's not... Yeah. Because I feel like everybody at the end of the day has a preference. Like the majority of men, I would like to say like to date younger. That's a personal choice. That's okay. But I don't think that's like the end all be all of like what dating is. I think everybody should just date whatever works for them. And it's not necessarily
I know niggas that date like older women on purpose. Like that's his thing. Like, cause they got homes.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy the other day, and he was talking about how he wishes he could find a lady that has money to take care of him. So
a sugar mama.
A sugar mama. So it's true. You know,
I've thought about it.
You know, the degree to which you want to guide or be guided is going to affect the age to which you target or pursue.
Crystal, thank
Look
you.
at you, Ben. That's
I'm
right.
learning.
Come on.
I'm always willing to learn.
Saying these words. If in the event, just hypothetically, could you consider going after some cougar snatch? That's that, but she's like
For
she
fun,
got paid
for fun or a serious relationship?
No, like that, like that's like what's the nigga that was dating Kim Kardashian mom?
Never in a. I don't think ever in a.
That nigga.
I don't think ever in a serious relationship. I mean, because the chances are so rare that every guy she's been with before me had similar enough ideology of mine that kind of like mirrored onto her, so to speak. I don't know if I'm misspeaking, but yeah, it's like we had the conversation before about if I were to die tomorrow or whatever, any guy, no matter what, dates my girl in the future is going to be dating parts of me too.
I'll be saying that shit.
So any guy that aligns with me is gonna be okay with it, but
I leave eggs. I be like, in my mind, I tell the nigga like, you welcome.
And then exactly. And then
it depends how original minded that girl is.
Yeah,
but I totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, I just think influence in general. Like you're going to be influenced by who you.
So you couldn't take a cougar sugar mama serious.
The chances that
okay, please.
So what is the purpose of dating? Like, what do you date for if it's not to be a serious relationship?
Ooh, bomb drop.
Thank you. Because I thought about this recently, and then I had an personal experience where I found myself like asking myself, what's the purpose of dating if the goal is not to end up in a relationship? So isn't that like...
Yeah, dating is for connections. And then there's a spectrum of connections. Whether it's like marriage and kids and family, whether it's, short-term relationship, one night stand, and like everything in between.
This is another point that I made on this topic, which is called where I made this. I came to this reasoning. Also, societal pressures to settle down. Thank you, Chad.
Wouldn't you want to though?
To settle down?
Mm-hmm. You just want to be out and about your entire life.
So 50, 60. It sounds,
out and about.
Not out and about because I'm really, like I'm not a casual dater. I'm not a person that like talks to a lot of women. Like it takes a lot for me to be wanting to, but not even just like casually. Like it takes me a lot to want to be like, I want to get to know this person. Only because I know what's attached to it. Like that investment, because I know my thing, here's my trauma. If I have this caricature of women that have this expectation of what a relationship is and their concept of what like being in love and being in a relationship, what it really means. And I don't, I'm not saying what I think is the right way, but it's the way that brings me the most peace, where my happiness is my own, that's my own responsibility. I don't expect, in being careful with having those expectations, like I honestly go into every situation knowing that you have the ability and the capacity to do something that's going to offend me. Do I have the mental faculties and the maturity to work through it is what's most important. And I wonder, sometimes I'm got to be real. I don't have that confidence, that degree of confidence in women today. Being able to work through stress and issues, but so that's my struggle too. That's why I don't casual date. Like I got to know you.
I agree.
But like, okay.
And it's kind of difficult to find someone when you're not a casual dater, because I also don't casually date. Like I hate it, and I hate constantly having to get to know new people just to end up like acting like I don't know them later on in life. So I find it.
It's taxing.
Yeah, useless.
It's taxing, and then
your life, your energy, like your time. So like, what's the point? I feel like people should, and that's my thing when it comes to dating. I feel like you shouldn't even bother another person until you know what you want.
Yeah,
because if you want to just casually date, you could go ahead and do that and tell the person you're just casually dating.
Yeah.
And then if you see that person is not understanding that you just want to casually date, please go away.
I was having
Disappear,
I was having this conversation the other day, and I was saying how when I date someone, on date number 1, I'm acting the same as I would if I was your husband.
I like that.
And then
because you get to like show like this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's
no honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
There's no honeymoon phase. There's no. I mean, obviously, I'm speaking in general. There's nuance to.
Yeah.
There's a version of the honeymoon phase. There's a version of you still have to build that trust. So I'm not literally the same, identical. You know, but in general, I try to be as true to how I would be, even if we're together 10 years in the future.
I agree with you. I think it's such an important element in the dating process because a lot of us put on the mask in the beginning because we're trying to sell. You know, we're trying to sell you this situation when you should just be like, this is what I am and this is what I am. If you can get down with it, then, you know, I think we have a real opportunity to build something. But when you go in with like acting and you're operating on like lies, you can't.
That's always been a big thing for me. I am totally myself like the first couple of days when I meet somebody for that same reason. So I don't like sell them an idea of who I am. And I think that kind of turns off because I guess men love the idea of a woman, not who they actually are. So.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know, we have our
you're a normal person.
Projection.
You're not what I thought you were. Oh my god.
They're probably they're so used to dating people that put on an act that when you don't, you're the outlier.
Exactly.
Like when you like, that's why like sometimes I think like the questions in the beginning, like. What do you do? What is your pet peeves? I was like, they ain't never gonna tell you the truth. It's a fucking job resume. It's like
that was one of the things. That was one of the things in the BuzzFeed article about post dating or dating post 30 was about how dating becomes more of a job interview, where you're being a little bit more focused on vetting the other person.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about this, and if. I already did the trademark. I did all the legal shit, so y'all can't steal it. But a dating app that allows reviews, like like Amazon reviews.
Oh my god, that's so perfect.
Like, I think we need that.
That would definitely become a thing.
But to be honest, I think only girls can leave reviews on guys. I don't think guys should be able to leave reviews on girls.
What?
I feel like as long as the review is not sexual, why not?
I don't know.
Oh, it could be all of it too.
I think because guys are rejected so often.
What?
I don't know how objective their reviews would be.
Yeah, I get it. Like, you know, like she was a real B word to me, but it was just like she just wasn't feeling it.
Exactly. So, you know.
I mean, you do have to weed out it.
Yeah, you have to weed it out. With everything.
You know, like now, if the last 10, you're right. Yeah, dudes can't really do it.
Some common denominator, like if you see like a commonality.
You know what? I'd rather only the girls can do reviews because at the end of the day, the guys don't care about the reviews.
Yeah, some niggas.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Not really.
All guys care about reviews. If that didn't matter,
if I could find out, like, yo, you know,
this guy reviewed you. You gave him the time of day. Ew.
From my experience, right? Girls are the ones that, you know, need their friend to like agree with them on a guy. I've never had the experience where like my boys are like telling me like, hey, should I get with that girl? Like I've never.
Not you.
Yeah, I was already. I mean, we're outliers, you know, because most dudes like it's like when it's.
You think most dudes are like communicating with each other like in chat groups? Like, should I?
Yeah. Niggas do like I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna be like weird niggas, but I'll be honest with you. Most of the niggas that they operate like. Let me ask you about. I'll give you a point. I don't talk about my sexual exploits, but most of my guy friends, they talk about it so openly, and that's weird to me.
I hate that.
But like, asking you for your advice and taking it into suggestion.
For sure. I mean, a lot of times.
I guess also the cliche in movies. What's the cliche in movies? Is the girls all going to the bathroom together in the club or in the party, or they're all going together and they're discussing. Like you never see it the other way around.
Oh no, because it'll be a conversation on the basketball court, or it'd be a conversation where y'all doing y'all thing, and y'all gonna discuss. Let me tell you about a shorty over here.
I've seen that more where it's advice for a girl they already got, but not necessarily should I pursue this girl. It's always now I have this girl. I've seen that where I want advice on this girl, but like needing the okay from guys for a girl, because from my point of view, guys think with like their monkey brain, like I'm attracted to her. I don't necessarily care if you're attracted to her. You're attracted. If anything, I prefer that I'm the only one attracted to her.
You know what? You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
I don't want the competition.
We're the outliers, because like I would ask those questions, like, so I mean, you know, like, well, what is her childhood history? You know, how is her, you know, her relationship with her parents? You know, like, you know, you're right. Most dudes, you know, I didn't even think about my past, my past relationships, if I can call them real relationships. It was like, what was it that, you know, led me to make that decision? It was just like somebody just gave me attention, and I was just like, oh, I'm down, let's do it. You know, and dating, you know, and then in that process and in that experience, I can almost go back to every time I got into a relationship and broke up. I knew exactly what the problem was, but if I'm objectively honest, I knew it from when I first got with the person.
Okay,
No, people just need to be more self-aware when they're vetting people.
Yeah.
People don't
100%.
take vetting seriously, and
I ain't did that shit. I
listened to a lot of podcasts. I was listening.
We were all there once upon a time.
I was listening to a podcast, and I listened to a lot of podcasts, and I was listening to one. They made a comment in the conversation about like how girls would behave differently if their body count was tattooed on their forehead automatically. Like, you know, their body count automatically. Every time they hooked up with a guy, the number went up on their forehead, that girls would, you know, act differently.
It'd be like a little line.
So imagine guys like a 5-star rating system. Every time you interact with a girl, anytime you go on a date with a girl, date a girl, you have that like star rating that they put is on your forehead. How many stars do you think you would have?
Shit, man. Like, according to my exes.
That's what I know. Exactly. Your interactions with girls.
Bad biased reviews. You know what? I would like to think that in a large part of my relationship, you know, I'm gonna take that back. I would think I would get a 4, because I've on multiple occasions with the majority of women that I've kept good relationships with my exes. Not that we communicate, but I've had people actually come and be like, you was the good one, you know, boy. But it was just like, you know, sorry, Ma, you played yourself. Nah, I don't want to sound hurt. But no, and I'm being honest, and it's not even to posture or peacock. It's just literally just like, I talk about this particular experience where it was a middle school relationship, and I got dumped for being like too nice, and I was just like, wow, that sucks. But she will say like he was one of the good dudes. But don't do that, man, because I'm trying to.
Well, at least you're not the nice guy anymore. At least you know yourself.
You went from a nice guy to a good man.
That's what matters.
We talked about it in a podcast.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you have a track record with women you're not worried that you would ever like suffer revenge blocking or anything like that.
This nigga the GOAT. GOAT. Now, did you research it? Because I know you were saying you were, but you had like an idea.
I already have an answer in general. That's what I said. I have an answer in general to anything negative that comes from an ex relationship. But
I agree. I
did quickly research specifically revenge blocking. Have you ever heard of the term revenge blocking?
No.
Well, because we haven't talked about it at all, so I'll hear your explanation.
It's exactly from the context clues. It meant exactly what I thought it was, and then when I looked into it, I was just like, "Shit, I think I revenge blocked some people." But also like a necessary mechanism to like go through that process of like. I do believe like you need to go cold turkey. Yeah. Like just cut it all off.
Though? What's the actual definition of
you actually block people on social media that when you go through a breakup and they become your ex, like you just remove them through. But this one is more vengeful. Like it's like, I'm gonna. But for me, it was more of a processing thing. Like I know I'm gonna.
Well, that's fascinating. So
I do that too.
What I read about revenge blocking was Revenge blocking is when you block your ex from dating other people. So, so you you report, and it was specifically social dating apps. So you go on a date with someone. And it happens to a lot of women. They go on dates with guys, they reject them or whatever, and the guy gets mad and starts reporting them and getting other accounts to report the girl. So then she loses her ability to be on Hinge, Tinder, Bumble.
That's way.
That's what I read about revenge blocking.
That's way more nefarious.
Yeah. But my answer, just to say my answer in general, is I think that you are the reason why anything bad happens if a relationship ends. A relationship should end on good terms, and you have to do everything in your power to make sure that a relationship ends on good terms.
Sure.
If a relationship ends on bad terms, to some degree, somewhere, objectively, it was your fault.
Sure. No, yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely.
Accountability. 100%.
Accountability is my superpower.
Yes.
But also psychological acceptance and also understanding, like, you have to draw the line because the living in the loss and living in the regret is crippling sometimes, and it really halters you from moving to that next phase and that next iteration of a better version of yourself, where it's necessary. I think it's healthy. Like, yo, you need to cut this part of your life because you have to process the sense of loss, because that's really what's breaking your heart, is the sense of loss.
Mm-hmm.
Any crazy ex stories?
Me?
Anyone? All of us.
Oh, all of us?
I only got one ex.
In your whole life?
Father, yeah.
Also.
So much life to live.
So much life. I don't know if you have like a crazy ex story then, but.
Oh, that's because I don't deal with I nip that in the butt. Like, I don't do drama.
Audio? I have one.
I'm just like amazed. Do I have crazy exes? No, I'm kind of, I'm very much like, it's a defense mechanism for myself. You know, it sounds like really cool, but it's not. Like, you know, when it's time to like end it, the first thing I jump to is she sucked the penis already. So I just get it out of my system. It was like, you're dead to me.
I have an interesting one. I don't know if you know this one. With lipstick. Do you know about this?
Nah, go ahead.
Right, so I have one crazy ex story, which is pretty much she took lipstick and essentially wrote what I will call a resignation letter.
Wow.
But in lipstick on all the mirrors in my room.
Oh, that bitch is crazy.
So all the mirrors in my room.
I use a different C word. Crazy. I said, what?
So like the dresser mirror and then like the floor to ceiling closet mirrors was completely covered in essentially an essay, resignation letter.
Oh man, you dodged the bullet.
Yeah, breakup.
You fucking dodged the bullet.
Whatever you want to call it. All in lipstick.
But you could wrote that shit on paper. Because one, I'm gonna erase this.
I refused to erase it.
But you made her do it?
What?
Nah, but you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
Audio believes me automatically.
I know it happened. Get that boy a bomb.
I even said, I was like, I ain't touching it.
I should have did things. So many things.
You know, it's funny. I think it's funny. My boy walked in the room while she was cleaning. It, and because I had told him, I was like, I ain't cleaning it. She gonna clean it. So he walked in the room one day, and he just had his arms crossed. He was just like,
how did you do this? I love it, man. I be fascinated. I just like a
question. How did this happen?
How did what happen?
What led to her?
What you did, nigga?
I mean, it was a young.
Be honest.
You was being a thought.
Yeah.
I need to be careful of how I say this.
Being a typical Dominican man.
Yeah.
No, because there's straddling the line between personal and private, so I need to figure out how to keep it personal.
Just don't say no name.
The private. Yeah, I know.
Keep it general.
Or it's like specific details. So in general, what led to that was pretty much we were young, immature, and the relationship had run its course, and there was there was some trouble getting both parties to agree on how the relationship was going to end.
You was trying to dump her.
And that caused some
She didn't want to accept it.
That caused some temporary...
And then she got crazy. And then she got like, oh, you didn't even have to go that far.
Because you know why? Because she's not here to defend herself. So I'm trying to like...
Once you said she drew on a fucking mirror with lipstick, there's no explaining.
So I'll just say that. So there was slight bitterness in how the relationship ended, but it ultimately ended where it's on good. We're on good terms, and if we saw each other tomorrow, it'll be fine.
Really?
It'll be on good terms.
So you're in a 7-year relationship, and you still have contact with the ex?
Oh,
I don't have contact with her, but
if I came across her, we would
be totally cool. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yo, Maddie, you gotta help us.
Yeah, like if I was with my girl and we bumped into her, like it would be cool.
Real story. This happened on multiple occasions. I was with an ex, and then I ran into one of my ex, and I just like a deer. Remember the cop situation? Literally the same situation. I was just like, and we was at like a buffet, and she was like, I said, don't talk to me, bitch. I panicked. And she was like, she saw my physiology change. And I was just like, oh my God.
and for the record, I don't think you should be in a relationship with someone.
And I was innocent.
That you couldn't be cool with after the relationship.
Yeah, but you gotta be like thinking about that shit in the beginning, though. So
that's what I'm saying.
Like, how would you determine that?
It's just how
this is responsible.
People change.
I mean, there's going to be exceptions, but in general, the goal should be such that your relationship should be of such quality that a breakup doesn't mean you hate each other.
Absolutely. I don't hate none of my exes. I'm grateful and appreciative. You know, shout out to Ariana Grande. Thank you, next. You know, all of my lessons. You know, like.
But also, if a relationship ends with such where you can't be cool with each other, that's a moment that I think, you know, requires reflection to understand exactly what parts you played that caused the situation to be that way and grow and learn from that and be a better person.
Accountability and psychological acceptance. You know, just speaking frankly on my past experience, my most recent past experience, it's not I go out the way to make sure people understand that there's no animosity, that I just accept that this is the circumstances, this is the new normal, this is where my new trajectory, this is the new opportunity for myself. But I'd also understand that I operate from my own Bible, and unfortunately, I don't communicate with exes. The only exes I communicate with now are my baby mamas.
You have to. Agreed. Because we have to.
Yeah.
and to be honest with you, some of my favorite relationships with women have and probably because the pressure of sharing a child forces us to find the.
You have to do it for them, even if you don't necessarily
man, we gonna work this out. But I'm so blessed. I got great baby moms. Like, I don't have baby mama drama. I don't even know what that shit sound like. You know, they're very supportive.
Amazing.
You know, so I look at, you know, the ability to navigate, you know, two different individuals, you know, one Puerto Rican baby mama, one Dominican baby mama, and be able to.
So you need a Cuban next.
Skills. Yeah,
a Cuban?
We're gonna add to the roster.
Yeah, Cuban. What else?
The Cuban
Jamaican.
The Cuban girl dumped me because I was too nice.
You dabbling? You do? You do dabble in the dark?
I hate nice men. No lie.
Because nice men are
very much dislike.
Nice men are
like mean men.
A fault.
That's the thing, because they're so agreeable. Like, be yourself. Like, what do you like? What do you not like? And if you're a guy, like, you have to be more assertive in who you are.
You gotta take lead.
Yeah.
You know, and that was something that, I'll be honest with you, because I experienced living a life as a nice man, that I finally saw the folly and you know, trying to be this just super nice, super agreeable, just, you know, like I found myself being in a constant state of like, I tell men all the time, it's like, you gotta complain, bro. You have to complain. Like, if you don't like it, say it, you know, because what's gonna happen later is that it's gonna build up, and it's bad behavior. It causes
resentment.
biblically.
That works.
Help me out.
You said it.
Spare the rod, ruin the child. I think that's what it is. I mean, I'm probably the only one that, spare the rod, ruin the child. I ain't saying beat your women's, but men need to
spank occasionally.
Not spank, but just communicate that, hey, these things that you're doing, I don't appreciate, I don't like, and it's going to continue to create, conflict and discourse. But most, what I found myself being, I want to rephrase, because I used to say I was like a passive aggressive. I don't know if that's the right word. I was gonna say I was Aquarius, but I don't believe in astrology. I don't believe in astrology.
Definitely because you're Aquarius.
What's your sign?
I'm a Cancer.
Cancer.
My brother a Cancer.
Virgo.
Oh,
Shout out to the Virgo.
My grandma's a Virgo. It's your birthday. So
shout out to the Geminis, because I think we're in the time of Geminis right now.
You know what's crazy? When I look up astrology and shit, they be like, "Yeah, I need to get with another air sign," and I was like, "I disagree." I was like, "I disagree," because I'm so like, all right, whatever.
There are people out there that they find out your sign, they legit
apply that to you.
They legitimately.
So
if you find out a guy is Gemini on a date,
listen, my baby daddy's Gemini. My son's father, excuse me. My father was a Gemini.
I like that.
The people most men that I have conflict with are Geminis. I love Gemini women, but Gemini men.
All right. So
they're too bipolar for me.
A guy's about to take you on a date.
We just opened up
and right before a guy takes you on a date, and right before the date happens, I get to intercept, and I tell him, "Listen, bro, I realize I checked your ID, and you're a Gemini. You have to lie and say." And I Google whatever is the match for Cancer. What's the match for Cancer?
No clue. I don't know. If I knew, trust me, I would have.
So
look it up.
Let's say it's Libra.
Okay.
Listen,
which I doubt it is.
All right, listen, you're a Libra. Just go with that. Now your relationship is going. It's a couple years, and you find out when doing the wedding application because the relationship is that amazing. You find out the wedding application that it's a lie. He's actually Gemini. Do you call off the wedding?
Of course.
Damn.
I'm gonna cause hell. Because first, I'm gonna cry first because I'm gonna be mad at the fact that I didn't catch that on beforehand, before getting to that point.
Yeah.
And
he was that amazing. You had no reason to look.
You need a Leo.
Nah.
It says you and Leos are the perfect ideal couple. Probably because the idea of a Leo is he's like the leader. Yeah. But then it's like the internet.
Cancer is a very leadership sign.
But
believe it or not, we're considered emotional people.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, what's funny is,
but it's because we're emotionally intelligent is that we are good at leading.
That's true. My brother is emotionally. He's a Cancer, and he's one of them. For somebody who walked around with a chip on his shoulder, the degree of how emotionally intelligent he is. And it's just happenstance. It's just, how the world, I'm a determinist. I know how he got there, but it's so funny how it aligns with it. I'm fascinated how close I can find the commonalities, in astrology. I don't subscribe to it, but as an Aquarius, I'll sit there and I'll read some Aquarius shit and I'll be like, that's definitely me.
Do you know what my favorite thing to do is?
What?
When people believe in astrology, I like to read them the paragraphs.
Let's do it.
That's different though. Astrology and horoscopes are two different.
Or whatever the astrology, the meaning behind it. I'll read it for a different person, and then they find the connection, and then I tell them, actually no, that's.
We gonna test it out. Okay.
I should do the reading since I'm the one that doesn't believe in it. Y'all two seem.
Look, but we're both saying that we don't subscribe to it.
You would break off the wedding.
Because he's a Gemini?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Well, not because he's a Gemini, but because I didn't catch on to the fact that he was a Gemini. The fact that he lied. There's other.
But if he told you he's Gemini on the first date, you would miss out on your husband.
That's probably why he lied.
No, there you go. But if you found out he was Gemini on the first date, you would not find out that he's your husband.
I told him to
Okay.
Even though he could have been your husband if you ignored it.
Guess.
I had a Gemini. It could have been my husband. I'm good.
Guess this sign. We gonna guess this sign.
All right, go.
This sign.
She's trying to peek.
Cheater.
I'm a no. Tell me.
Trying to look at that's like looking at my hand when we're playing spades. And he's in it and this is the male version, right?
Yeah.
So you have to guess this male horse sign, right? Intellectual men. They are intellectual men with affectionate and sympathetic hearts.
Oh, I mean,
you equally
easy.
inherent.
He pulled up mine, Virgo.
Nope.
He did.
It's Libra.
Oh, he pulled up Virgo.
Ew.
It's Libra. Libra man. You equally inherit kindness, gentleness,
that
and
says
fairness.
Virgo.
Nah, I can read. Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie. I was like,
it's my word against yours. So.
Argumentative.
Well, see, this is why when it happens like this is why horoscope doesn't work because that could apply to anybody.
Right now that I'm reading it, like the general concept of
what is not horoscope that makes Gemini a red flag?
It's
for you.
Okay, so the archetype for a Gemini, I believe, is like the twins.
Yeah.
So therefore, they're known to have like duality within them that's very apparent to people. So therefore, they come off very bipolar. So 1 second you're like dealing with one person, and then like the next second like, they become a different person, and then it's just constantly that switch of a person. That's what I don't like about Geminis.
Okay,
I could be wrong, but listen, I've experienced them all my life.
But
so.
you know why I'm gonna give her. You know why I'm going to give to the argument that horoscopes at this point may play a factor because of the subconscious, and we've been fed this programming that your subconscious actually attaches those traits, and then and it probably says, "Oh yeah, that's me."
Yeah,
and you start applying it, and then now you visualize it in real life. That astrology at this point, on the years and years of for how long it was invented up until now, that's why it can be fine tuned to be like, okay. They kind of set it in motion.
It's
Determinism.
been years.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's that game of determinism versus free will. What you were gonna say?
Nothing.
No, you're gonna say.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
But no, because that's my problem with astrology. Astrology takes away your free will.
No,
that's why you don't like it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you really learn it, you'll see that it doesn't. It's very open.
But you're saying that the person's actions, demeanor, and outcomes in life are predetermined because this type of person will be this type of way. They don't have the free will to be different.
But that's my free will of making the choice of not having to deal with a person like that because I know that a person that switches constantly is going to
That's what I'm saying. You're saying that a Gemini does not have the free will to act like a Virgo, and a Virgo doesn't have the free will to act like a Libra.
And it's up to me to vet the person to be like, oh, okay, this is a normal Gemini. This is a person that stays in one personality.
And I think that it does exist on spectrums. So, I
think it's a fun game.
It's a fun game. I like the idea of an Aquarius.
She's like, oh, nah, I'm betting you. I'm betting every date. So that's a first date question.
Yes, definitely.
That's a good. What are your first date?
For fun.
No, let's go. What's your first date questions?
Are you still? I don't remember. I remember the last first date I had.
At this stage of the game, are you still acting like women are like their favorite color?
Well, obviously, you have to. The question for you.
I cannot recall or remember.
That question?
I cannot remember how I am or what I would say. Like my girl would have to come here and talk from her point of view how I was in the very beginning, because I honestly don't know. It's been too long.
I can say I have. I ask, what is your? I mean, I don't know. What are you supposed to ask?
That's what I'm saying.
What's your favorite color?
Yeah, at this point in my life, yes. At almost 30, I'm still asking. Yeah, because I'm gonna find out eventually. I care about what your favorite color is.
Yeah,
I feel like that matters.
I always play. I've always loved playing like 21 questions. When a conversation gets a little stale, to like revamp it. When I was younger, I used to love 21 questions. We take turns going back and forth, thinking of a question.
So, what do you ask on a first date, Audio?
What do I ask on the first date?
If it's not, what's your favorite color? You got kids. How did you grow up?
I've already probably researched that information based on social media. It also depends on like how I met you, because I'm already not judging, but I'm already doing my research. You know, like I will never.
I can imagine audio today on a first date with ChatGPT on his phone.
It's like, so you said what about what?
What next question should I ask?
I don't find the like what's your color question it's fun, you know, like we have drinks like what's your favorite color and what's your favorite candy, but I'd much rather be like any past trauma with your family, and you know, any like how are you dealing, how are you with your finances, you know, like I have more real world questions that I would probably, because historically, you know, I've never asked those questions. You literally, it was just like,
and those matter. I
like you, you like me, to a degree. It's always with the physical in the beginning, and then we'll, you know, like I'm a pretty cool nigga, you know. So most of the time, like we get to a vibe, and the vibe turns into physical, and the physical sometimes blurs the objective. Like the objective reality or the objective truths. Mm-hmm. So now it's just like, all I want to do in my next venture in life, in terms of romantically, is not do it out of order. Like I'm a Nazi about that shit right now. Like
that matters.
It's got to be in the right order in order for it to succeed. It's just like business. Mm-hmm. You would never go and be like, I'm gonna start a business, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, but you didn't do all the boring stuff, you know. Like, so for me, that's what makes dating in your 30s kind of harder, because you have so much more information. I have so much
more to catch up on.
But it doesn't make it harder. I would say it would make it easier, because it makes it harder because you guys have to constantly.
I have to put effort. Right.
Yeah, and then like deny people that you constantly meet. Like it's a process, but like because you're older now and you're more self-aware, you know yourself better. Like you know what to look for in a person, because you know, oh, that's not gonna fly with me, or you know, like okay, that's fine.
True
that matters.
True that, because I like that, because I'm more self-aware. My dating pool got smaller.
Yeah,
100%,
and it's totally okay.
And that's okay.
You know, to give game out there, if you're know in a job interview or pursuing work, you know, in a job interview they ask you, tell me more about yourself.
A challenge.
You know, when they ask you, tell me more about yourself, that's a very common interview question. A lot of people make the mistake and they talk literally about themselves. Oh, I'm from here. I was born here, and I have this many kids, and I like to do this on my days off and my hobbies.
Because they're not selling. I never did that.
But there is a correct answer to that question, and that is
who are you professionally?
Present. It's present, past, future. It's what's your situation presently, what's your past, what's your background, and then where do you want to be in the future? And that's the correct form to answer that question. So it's like,
depending on the interviewer.
In general, when someone asks, tell me more about yourself, the question should be something along the lines, well, you know, currently I just moved back here from here because I graduated from this, but before that I was in this blah, 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 and now I'm looking forward to blah, 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 blah. That's the correct format to answer that question in general. So, talking about dating being
human resources, people who are in human resources should get a degree in psychology.
What do you mean?
No.
I just mean in general. I'm talking about any interview for any type of interview period. When you're asked, tell me more about yourself, that's the type of answer they're looking for. They're not really caring about like.
So basically what you're saying is like, if you're interviewing for a job setting, your answer should be job based, and then if you're interviewing for like a relationship, the connection I was going to make was
because I'm trying to think literally, what do I do on a first date? And similar to when we were talking about how dating is kind of like a interview for you know a prospective relationship. I similarly, now that I think about it, hey, we discuss. We do this live.
Didn't know you was gonna get that.
Similarly, I on the first date,
I'm gonna pull out the
maybe
cable.
Subconscious
pull out the cable. Yeah, fuck it.
Subconscious or consciously, I tend to kind of go through waves of discussing and talking about your past, getting to know you better about your past, enjoying the present, reacting to what's actually happening on the date, and also, exploring ideas of, how the person thinks and giving hypotheticals and where that's more future oriented. Like,
okay.
And I kind of play with those three realms. And I think that's what I do on all days. Like, I think that's just how I interact with people.
That's why you're an outlier.
Yeah. So I was just trying to think, like, what do I do on a first date? But yeah, so that's what I was.
On a first date. Yeah.
But, in the future, we're just going to, attach each other's Neuralinks and just like.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this nigga is so goddamn good.
You're smooth. I like that.
Neuralink, yeah. So I got some talking points in my notes. Boy, you good. I ain't gonna lie to you, boy, you good.
Smooth. Loved it.
The hostess and know the mostest. All right, so check this out. So let's to the people who don't know what Neuralink is
becoming a reality. So very recently the FDA approved for Neuralink, which is one of Elon Musk's venture, approved for Neuralink to begin human studies where they're going to start implanting. I don't, the details about it are not known yet. The fact is that FDA approved Neuralink to start testing in humans, but Neuralink hasn't released, what the
actual technology is,
or what the
utility.
I thought Neuralink was for for medical treatment, in the sense that they would put it like in a disabled person's body to where it would allow them to somehow communicate, or I don't know, somehow facilitate their life in some way.
Yeah, the idea is that the beginning benefits from Neuralink is going to be more medical, where it's going to, there are certain medical ailments that are caused by the brain miscommunicating with the rest of the body.
Cognitive.
And Neuralink will be able to fix that. So there are certain reasons, I forgot it now, but I was reading into it when Neuralink did their presentation with pigs. I don't know if any of you saw that.
No, we didn't.
But there was a presentation where Neuralink showcased their first big breakthrough was when they had successful testing on pigs, and they were able to accurately detect brain waves for certain actions that the pigs were undertaking. They were able to accurately connect to those with the Neuralink.
I love the fact that we just went from straight up dating topics to straight up Neuralink science.
We could go back.
And we just slid into it so effortlessly. Oh my God. Off the chain. And I agreed. I'm with you on that. Right. Its first utility in the marketplace will probably most likely be enhancing. I specifically wrote down Alzheimer's.
There's a reason why there's a certain blindness that's caused by the brain not communicating properly with the optic nerve, and Neuralink theoretically will be able to give those people a sight. Certain paralyzation has to do with the connection between the brain and the spine.
Is you trying to move to the next topic already?
I don't know.
No, because I'm talking about the Jamie Foxx shit. That's why I was like, he's on a roll. He's on a roll.
No. You gotta let the topic simmer a little bit. I don't rush that much.
Damn.
I take my sweet time.
Hey, look at this nigga. This nigga freaky. Okay, go expound.
No. So what I was gonna ask. What I was curious about to ask both of you is, well, it's a twofold question. Would you be willing to be in the study, the first human, part of the pool of first humans connected?
Definitely
and what would it take to be studied?
I can't even trust the first generation.
Financially, or is there a certain number of generations? You mentioned
like Gen 3.
Gen 3.
Yeah,
so what is your take as far as financial or generation requirements to have Neuralink installed in you?
When it becomes designer, once I've seen it in the medical, industry, and it's been tested, and it's, and now it becomes like the norm. It's almost
So is there no dollar amount for you to be part of let's say the third generation of testers?
No, but it's still in the testing stage.
I don't even like that word. Testing.
10,000.
Yeah,
So
just say it works.
10,000 a week.
Nah.
Nah, hell no. What's the point?
What you gonna do with 10,000 if
and
you
then
can't use it?
And then next week your fucking brain fall out your head.
I don't know. You know. I'm the first person.
Wait, what age am I? Is the question.
Right now.
Oh, no. See, if you would have said like 70, I'd be like, all right, fuck it, let's go.
If you're old, it doesn't matter. And I feel like if you're like in the disabled position.
Like my brain still works right now. Yeah, nah, I'm not going to do it. But I'm very much open into the technology for sure.
I don't know. I think at 10,000 a week, I'd probably do it.
Right now?
Yeah, because see, for me, it's like I saw the full presentation when they displayed the pics.
Also, because you have the research.
Exactly. And I understand how it all works and I will be able to have some confidence in the safety of it. Like they've been doing a lot. They did a lot of work to get to this stage. You know what I mean? Like it's all in baby steps.
It's absolutely impressive.
So the cost benefit analysis isn't that crazy.
That they're
not risking that much.
The issue is that they don't know what the future repercussions may be of these testing that they're doing now. So they could make it seem like it's all good and great, but
COVID vaccines.
Yeah, like what I'm saying, they had no problem forcing vaccines onto even celebrities.
Well, that's kind of what they do to make it like normal, to make it more acceptable.
I'm not as good as you.
No, but you give me that. I'm sorry.
No, I finished what I said.
No, say it again.
I don't know. I was saying something about being more acceptable.
More acceptable. The COVID vaccine was more acceptable because
but that's what I'm saying. Like because we had that era where we were all forced to take vaccinations, and that's kind of like a brainwashing tactic that society uses to like normalize these type of things that we're against.
Oh, did we pick the right? We picked the right. Did we pick the right? We picked the right host.
So therefore,
hey girl.
So now that's why they're introducing all these new things right now, because they're trying to normalize it in our minds in society. It's the process. Well, it started with COVID, of course.
It's like testing them. Let's see what they'll go for, and let's see what they go for.
But we're the guinea pigs at the end of the day.
So typically, I save conspiracy theories for our after hours uncensored. Where no
conspiracy theory.
Where we discuss things that are not YouTube safe, but they're paywall safe. So check out our OnlyFans link down below. But I will share
because we got our first flag, right? It wasn't a flag. Yeah. It was kind of like a weird It
was one of our episodes. I didn't know we were recording. I thought we were still in green room talk. Audio was sneakier back then.
Lazy production.
And so audio presses the record button, and part of the green room talk, I was discussing how I don't believe in climate change, and they flagged the video with like climate change context, for their psyop propaganda about climate change. So that was funny. Yeah, I was like, it already started.
That's when I knew we made it. I said they flagged it up, they censor it. I was like, man, it's time to turn up.
Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say though.
Oh man, did I say something?
No,
we were talking
okay. So we were talking about Neuralink, and you were talking about the vaccine and the
and how all of these changes are being impressed upon us. Yes.
Yeah. Damn, what was I gonna?
Sorry.
Hey, this is a good drink. Gin and tonic. Flora Adora, limited edition. So get yours now.
So the question would be, let me propose something that could be. Obviously, it has the pros and cons, right? And this is all like hypothetical, right? We don't even know. But it gets out into the marketplace. The only downside is somebody who, is the ability for that technology to be influenced. And because a lot of people be like, you're going to get hacked. And I was like, it's never that subtle. I mean, it's never that extreme. It's going to be subtle. Like, especially because what I'm studying about subconscious, like just the ability of humans to corrupt the technology that could send some kind of fucking, like, you literally would become programmable. And it's a slippery slope and it's super dangerous. I just want to be like the Matrix, where you like, let me learn how to fly a helicopter.
When you combine Neuralink, that's what I was going to say, my conspiracy theory. So the conspiracy theory that I'll just tease is, it's interesting that Elon Musk has Neuralink and then Elon Musk purchases Twitter. And it's interesting.
It's a data funnel.
Exactly, where that database of people.
I get to watch. I get to collect all human data.
It's proven that social media, tech like monopolies, social media tech companies, they run all these experiments that we don't even know that they're running.
Right.
And here's Elon Musk having one of the best sociology experiment, one of the there's a name for that field of study,
neural psychology.
Or epidemiology or whatever. There's a name, but he has this collection of data and experiment capability, and he has Neuralink and then AI. So imagine you combine Neuralink, AI, social media. Elon Musk helped found OpenAI.
Oh yeah, he did, but they beefing a little bit.
Yeah, but
whatever.
He still proved that he has his foot in that door.
Oh, 100%. So the truth sometimes is stranger than fiction, and sometimes it's right in front of you. You didn't know to ask the right questions, because even making those connections, I am a fan of them. So it's kind of like my bias is always going to be like, keep pushing technology, because eventually, like that's how us living forever is not. It's going to be through, technical advancements.
Yeah.
And
I think the next evolution of humans is going to be the internet. It's going to be some type of like future humans are going to bind with, cybertronics.
Yeah. I just don't want to be like the Wall-E, with all the fat people with
no bones.
Yeah, it's just on these little floating shits.
I think Neuralink, theoretically speaking, could end up evolving to a point where we are uploading our consciousness onto the internet.
I think it's cool.
Where where AI, once AI matches the human brain, there's nothing stopping the AI from incorporating the downloaded consciousness and in perfect tandem, us existing just on the internet.
I don't know. I don't like that.
I don't like it at all.
Because your consciousness is in essence who you are.
No, and
how you operate, and then having technology
that's the scary part, because again, and we'll dabble just a tiny bit into the free will argument. Going off the deep end, once I understood,
send Kept a text, so we might call him in for the free will.
Once I understood like how impressionable. So I looked up do you believe in free will?
Yeah, definitely.
And we know you hope for free will.
We all have free will.
I am biased towards free will.
Why?
But I understand that determinism is a very real possibility.
Like, I don't believe in free will.
Why not? Everything I do is in my will. What do you mean?
Well, the illusion is the illusion.
There's things set in place, to create some sort of.
Well, let me give you the definition of what I mean by free will.
Yeah,
this is when I need popcorn.
A choice or decision made free from influence. Could you make a choice or decision free from influence?
What would be influencing me? In my decision.
It could be chemistry, it could be biological, it could be the reality that we're experiencing. Everything that we do is influenced by right now.
There's one thing of doing an informed decision and then like free will. Unless another person is influencing my choices, it's really my will to do it, regardless of whether you're conscious of what you're doing or not.
Even that decision, whether you do A or B, is already influenced by a predetermined factor that basically led you to making that decision.
Definitely, because I feel like at the end of the day, like we have a path that we have to take in life. You have to start from somewhere. So therefore, what your past is going to determine how you handle your future.
Which is why I'm a predeterminist, where the scary part
But I am not those type of person.
Yeah.
Like, you live this type of life, so I know for sure you can never be this type of person. I don't believe that at all. Like, I am...
No, you can, because the influence, the determining factors could change. Your influences there can be external influences that change that path. Mm-hmm. But the whole point of it, because the real illusion is not the choice. It's just the fact that you're constantly making choices based on influences. And there was something that I looked up, and I don't know how accurate and they were saying that your brain or your subconscious is already has already made the decision, and what we're seeing is the visualization of that experience or of that decision in the real world. So immediately you start to think about, okay, that element must be coming from my subconscious. As far as I know, I can't communicate with my subconscious. And because I can't communicate with my subconscious, who's the puppet master? Like I used to
well, maybe you're just not connected with your subconscious.
He's that. My subconscious is running the show for all I know. Like for as far as I know,
to be more self-aware with yourself.
I am.
To understand your subconscious. It's all a part of you at the end of the day.
So my consciousness is a projection and a visualization of all this data and information about myself. But my subconscious is really the engineer that's like pressing the buttons. My problem is I don't have a direct line to that.
That's my problem. That you keep looking at it as something that's not a part of you. What do you mean? That's your subconscious.
Well, they've done studies where they've connected brains, and they'll put something up on the screen, and they can objectively see that the brain starts firing and like making decisions before you're conscious of those decisions.
Of that decision.
So in that
weird abstract
thing,
space,
there's an argument there where you're observing what you're doing with this illusion of free will.
That it was my decision.
But you're really just observing something that's happening behind the scene that's already determined.
Yeah, your brain. That's that's the gist, or that's the cusp.
Yeah. So it walks like a duck, talks like a duck.
Yeah.
If it walks like a dog, quacks like a dog.
Yeah,
looks like a duck, something like that. It's a duck.
It's a duck.
So it's like if what we experience, feels like free will, smells like free will, looks like free will, it's probably free will. That's kind of like the lamest argument for it.
Yeah, that's the lamest.
Then I think about comparing us, because I'm one of the ones, we've touched this before, where I'm very into this. I'm very against this idea that humans are special.
Oh,
I'm very conscious of
I'm with that.
Humans are just another animal species on this earth, sharing it with other animals. And when I think of different animals like chimpanzees and
orcas,
birds, orcas.
Did I do it? I did good.
That's exactly my point.
Okay, give me a bomb. Give me a bomb.
When I think of different animals and the way they the different levels and degree to which they communicate, there are some animals that get to a social pseudo-conscious level where you start questioning, are these animals conscious and with free will, or are we? Do these animals that act like they're just doing these predetermined things, are they conscious then and have free will, or are we more automatic, predetermined, animalistic in our nature, and then we want to admit? And I don't know, so that's why I'm kind of like on the fence.
Well, I feel like animals, they would operate out of free will because they don't have a structure. Like it's just instinctual.
I disagree.
It's all
I disagree.
Animalistic. So therefore, like we
do so much
animalistic instinct.
We do so much behavior. That's animalistic and instinctual, and that's primal
what
behavior.
Makes us different from animals is that we have the capacity to use logic.
So does animals. Animals are using logic all the time.
They have a brain they can use, but they're never gonna be to the.
Well, no, there's degrees into how intelligent they can be as sentient creatures, but they're using logic. They're using like orcas surprisingly can experience joy. They can experience sad. I won't say they can symptoms of emotion. They can experience these emotions that we can relate to because they're really intelligent. However, that's still being influenced by external factors and sometimes, like I said, biological. And that's where the illusion of free will is really interesting to me because, for a long time I was just like, this is what I usually get when I propose the question. It was like, I could choose to do this and do this, or I could choose to choice A or choice B, and I'd be like, doesn't matter. Whatever choice you make was predetermined by some influence.
You chose between the two, but you cannot actually see an alternate universe where you chose option B.
Right.
You only see yourself choosing option A, option A, option A.
You was always going to choose.
You don't actually see that alternate thing. So you think you chose between A and B, but you really were always going to choose A.
You was always going to choose A.
That's the argument. Even the Orca situation, the reason it's a topic on the screen that you can't see is because this pod of orcas have been consistently sinking boats and attacking boats more than normal. And the leading theory, I texted him about it, but I realized the time. I don't know if he's asleep at this time.
Yeah, we gonna call him. We calling in a friend of the show.
We calling in the shadow coach. He might be on a lost tape or future episode.
We touching on this, and we can talk about the orcas because the orcas, I think that's learned behavior.
So,
environmental pressures.
I don't think he's going to answer, but I'll continue speaking.
Go ahead.
So when these orcas, we could try calling Tino.
Oh, okay.
When these orcas attack the leading theory is that because orcas are such a social animal, the orcas are teaching each other to attack boats, and maybe one of the orcas was hit by a boat.
Yeah.
And had a bad interaction with a boat and is teaching other boats because it's the same pod. It's a residential pod that lives in that same area. So it's like, okay, is that free will? Is that free will where they're consciously deciding like, hey, these boats are evil or bad or enemies and we have to learn to defend ourselves? Yeah. Or is it this automatic, predetermined, instinctual programming where evolutionarily we attack what hurts us and we teach each other?
Right.
That's what I would think.
It's an environmental pressure.
But it's the same outcome. But one is determinism and the other one's free will. It's a very interesting.
Your first thing was correct because if you look at it like dogs is an animal that we have most contact with, right? So
they was domesticated.
Yeah, but they have. They're still an animal and they have the capacity to like experience. You could see in a dog when a dog is happy, when they're pissed off. And if they experience a lot of trauma, like when I have a human like beating on them or experience a lot of abuse, you could see that on an animal to where you have to tend to them a certain way so they don't react a certain way.
So
is that not?
So Audio knows how I am with dogs.
He loves them.
I love dogs, right? But I actually, it's interesting you bring this up because I had a very deep internal conversation about dogs. And so do you know the origin of where dogs came from?
No.
The wolves.
So dogs came from wolves, but more specifically,
the more docile, the more agreeable wolves.
The more docile, agreeable wolves were benefited by receiving like the scraps from the humans. So the wolves that followed humans but weren't as aggressive and attacking humans, they would end up getting the scraps. And over time, wolves evolved because the trait of being more docile, agreeable allowed them to survive more,
and that's
being
genetics.
around humans. So the more wolves around humans survived better if they were nicer to humans, and over time, that trait of being more docile, agreeable ended up creating wolves that descended into canines. So the argument is, are these dogs consciously thinking about being happy with it, or are they running on this
coding
where they are pre-programmed? It's predetermined that they're going to be as nice, as loyal, as good of a companion to these humans because that is what is in their automatic programming to survive on Earth by having humans
domesticated
provide
animals.
for them.
There's certain domesticated animals that you cannot put back in the wild because they will not
know how to survive.
But that's genetic programming that we did as humans, which is an external factor.
I was having this conversation with my girl. I was sitting there saying, like, I wonder, like, is our dog just on autopilot? Acting happy, like, is it just on, or are there actual thoughts in this dog's brain where it's like, oh my God, you're home, I'm so happy to see you? Or is it just like, oh, the owner's back.
Yeah.
When the owner's back, tail wags, belly, that gets me food. And like, I don't know. We don't know. We can never know.
How much of it? I mean,
but
I like
even the dog argument, it's like, it doesn't necessarily prove free will. It's just another example of, I don't know. For me, it's like, I'm agnostic to like the free will.
I'm
gonna ask you a question.
Being like, okay, I'm poor today, but my free will is I'm gonna be rich tomorrow. Like something like that. Because you have free will. Doesn't make any sense.
If you decided to entertain the concept of free will, what in life would change for you? Because that was more important to me. Was when I got to where I got to in my research, I was just like, how does this change my life?
I feel like I've already gotten to a point where I feel like I operate off of free will in the sense that like I used to take into consideration a lot what other people thought I should do or what society thought I should do or what we're taught growing up or whatnot.
Free will from the definition of what I propose as free will, like decisions and choices made free of influence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you ever got to a place where, like where I was, and I had to practice like a psychological acceptance where it was just like, I got to the place where I was just like, oh shit. I am being, I used to say, you used to say it too, where like I'm in a constant state of policing my subconscious. Mm-hmm. Then I was just like, no, that's on the contrary, based on what I believe, my subconscious is making me police, so I'm really not in the driver's seat. So then at that point, I had a moment of psychological acceptance where like, okay, I just hope that I told my brother the other day that I said, as special as I thought I was, I realized that I'm just so exceptionally lucky.
Well, you are choosing to collapse the wave particle function. Shout out to Shadow. But no, you are choosing to say definitively that your subconscious is leading the way, whatever. Yeah. There's a common argument in religion where it's like, you should believe in God or in Christianity because if you're wrong and you end up at the pearly gates, you're fucked.
Occam's razor.
Yeah, but if you don't believe in God and he ends up being real, then you're real. So you're better off believing in God just in case he's real. Then you're prepared to go to heaven. So it's a weak argument when it comes to religion. However, parallel to that logic is how I kind of feel about free will.
Okay.
If free will, I choose to be biased towards believing in free will, even though I understand there's kind of this, I'm kind of forced into this agnosticism of just not being able to know. I choose to be biased towards believing there is free will because if free will does not exist, I have no power. It's all literally predetermined. That's where the nihilism comes in. If free will is real, then I need to utilize that free will to have the best life I can have. Exactly. So I just believe in free will just practically because I'm going to then have the best outcome.
But couldn't that be your subconscious like telling you?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't care if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, it doesn't matter if I believe or not because it's all predetermined.
Yeah.
Right.
But if I am right, then I utilize my free will.
Yeah.
Drop the bomb. I'm fucking with you.
So that is also why.
To me, it's like.
So what's your rebuttal?
It's hopeful thinking. Thinking.
So what's your rebuttal?
Because until it can be established, according to my research, free will is an illusion. It feels good to think the way that you're thinking.
That's what I'm saying. But if I'm wrong, there's no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
And if you're wrong, there is foul and there is harm.
Well, there's
because you allowed into your subconscious that you don't have free will. That's my point.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, but that's why I prefaced that I'm exceptionally lucky that I had certain pinnacle deterministic points in my life that led me to be emotionally intelligent. That led me to be more.
So you're taking the risk that you're taking the risk that allowing your subconscious to believe that there is no free will is not going to negatively impact your life.
risk doesn't matter. At this point, remember my guiding light is
so that's a yes.
My guiding light is objective truth. Anything that evidentially that looks like it's going to be closer to the truth, I'm going to now. What I will say is that I could shift my beliefs and I could shift my understanding. Mm-hmm. Currently, where it stands, it's the best explanation that I can see, and it's in the paradox of free will. Which was something I can't believe I didn't have this conversation, like this argument. Like as long as we've been doing what we've been doing, we've only recently even dived into this particular topic, which was free will. I purposely stood away, probably like subconsciously. It was just like I don't want to until I like accepted nihilism, and then nihilism. Like I've been on this trajectory where like. I've dabbled in scary, subjectively scary, because I've dove into ideas that would probably, and I've had people tell me, be like, it's just too scary to think about.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm just...
You think differently.
I like to throttle, not throttle, I like to press on the gas and be like... All right, let's just fucking see where it goes, man.
Yeah. Well, everybody has that mindset.
I will continue to police my subconscious.
I do too. I work on self-development.
Because you thought it was you.
A lot.
What?
I said it's cute because you think it's you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. That's what we're exceptionally lucky. Remember when we were having a conversation like your upbringing, your nurturing, like those deterministic factors that led you to be.
Oh yeah. So for Maddie, we were discussing on the phone because we try to have a 10-minute conversation. It ends up being an unrecorded podcast. But I made what Audio's alluding to is I made the analogy that in my opinion there's kind of a dichotomy of determinism and free will and there are certain things out of our control that is predetermined, where you were born, who your parents were, blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of like in a bowling alley, you have these guardrails on the gutters, on the edge of the lane. And then your free will is the space between the guardrails, between the predetermined factors that you had no control over. There's this free will mechanism that you do have control over that you can maneuver between those guardrails of predetermined factors. And that's ultimately what I believe with free will.
And because of that, we know that the decisions that big companies make are not based on free will, but deterministic factors like Bud Light.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying something like poor decisions?
Did I do good?
Lead to fun times.
Bad decisions. Ooh. Dangerous. Bad decisions.
Lead to fun times.
Bad decisions lead to fun.
In the short term.
Like it. Let's go.
To fun times and negative consequences.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fact. But as long as you take accountability, like I knew this shit was gonna happen.
Yep.
But yeah, so you're saying when companies make poor decisions, it's not. It was out of their control. It was predetermined.
Well.
Like Bud Light nuking,
Bud Light
a third of their stock.
Here's my thing about Bud Light. So their stock and their sales are tanking because they put a transgender on the can.
Yeah,
right.
They sponsored and
the actual person is Mulvaney.
Dylan Mulvaney,
right? So let's take a look at it.
So Dylan Mulvaney was sponsored and but I have to make the comment that I'm interested in in
it's a miscalculation.
I'm interested in this calculation.
Wait,
what caused the backlash? Sponsoring Dylan Mulvaney, or was it more so the Yeah, that's her.
That's what they put on.
Was it more so the combination of
you're right. You gotta start asking for the birth certificates. You gotta start asking for I want to see a third grade picture.
Yeah.
I
think the backlash was more so because of the combination of sponsoring Dylan Mulvaney and the whole LGBT movement and transgenderism in general, while at the same time chastising and criticizing that the majority of their customer base is like more of that, red-blooded American frats.
Right. Their miscalculation was just like, y'all pandered to acquire another group.
And also disenfranchised their consumer base.
Not understanding, like, the only niggas that drink Bud Light.
They didn't celebrate their consumer base and then also include trans. They focused on trans and at the same time...
It's a miscalculation.
At the same time, actively showed malice towards their consumer base, and I think that combination was just
I can appreciate it as
suicide
as a business strategy to find another demo, right? So okay, the transgender population, we can all agree it's growing. It's at this point, it's everything you're seeing in media. It's all these. It's too much for me. Whatever you want to do. It's just like now it just seems very like. There's an initiative, you know what I'm saying? So like, okay, cool. I'm down with it. Whatever, cool. Nah, I won't say I'm down with it. Whatever you want to do, right? Whatever you want to do, I believe you have right over your autonomy over at a legal age.
Yes.
If you want to chop your chicken nuggets off, that's fine. I don't, that's your business. I don't agree with undeveloped. We don't know enough. Well, we do, but we don't know the ripple effect, or we don't know how that would impact developing youth to put them through this. Something that we understand is close to, not close, but we understand is gender dysphoria, which is a well, you want to say the word? I'd be scared to say the mental disorder.
Why do you believe it to be true?
No, I do believe it to be true. It's a mental disorder. So understanding that, we try to treat we try to treat an uncurable thing, right? I don't think you can be cured of gender dysphoria. I think that you can probably suppress the symptoms, or you could treat the symptoms, but I don't think you could be cured of gender dysphoria. If we agree that what the phenomenon that we're experiencing in the human experience with transgenders is gender dysphoria, the great miscalculation, or the actual miscalculation, was the pandering to a group that I've been around a lot of you know how I roll, but I've been around people in the space that are on the spectrum of LGBT, and I've never seen them drink Bud Light. So that was interesting that they wanted to pander to this group. And so the capitalist in me was like, okay, another group that will support and buy. So I don't want to hold them to the fire of trying to expand business, but I do hold them to the fire in terms of marketing, where I'll be like, that's not your demo.
So what was the marketing that rubbed everybody wrong? What was the backlash for?
They're putting Dylan Mulvaney.
What was the ad?
Well, they sponsored him and had him make like TikToks and social media. Like,
he was. I think he was on the can.
And they put him on the can.
Or she. Wait. You're gonna protect us? Oh.
Sorry, language matters.
Language.
If it matters, then he was put on the can.
Oh shit.
If it doesn't matter, then she was put on the can.
There it goes. Just right now.
Red Solo Talk.
He identifies as a she. Okay.
Now he does.
That's a dude.
The Navy put a drag queen to recruit.
So what's the purpose of all this?
I don't understand.
We're just encouraging everyone to be more like openly sexual. I
think the motive is inclusiveness, but also, but not only that it's the motive. It's they hijack the motive. It's like it's like Black Lives Matter, right? You know, like we're gonna hijack this motive and we're gonna use this to advance what we really want. And then like the response that happened. Now I will tell you this on some economics and business. Bud Light will correct course, and mark my words. Wait till they tank. Buy, get greedy.
In the middle of all this, they sponsored a LGBT event.
No, they get the correct course because the stockholders.
You mentioned earlier. You said the capitalist in me. Well, the conspiracy theorist in me. Mm-hmm. I think that BlackRock and those types of powerful dark shadow groups,
shadow actors.
I think they are inspired by the evil mind viruses that are with us since time immemorial. I think they and the people that there are people in power behind the scenes that are infected with the evil mind virus that kind of force these companies to act in these ways because there are certain advertising dollars and investment dollars that they can only access. They're almost like they're being blackmailed or held hostage to be forced to spread these psyop evil mind viruses, or else they don't get access to that money. And then they're just trying to survive. They're caring about the shareholders. They're thinking about those BlackRock evil dollars, and they're not necessarily thinking about the long-term consequences until something like the Bud Light fiasco happens.
Drop that bomb, nigga, because you talking facts. I'll let you elaborate.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything. You go ahead.
Okay, so what's your take on Bud Light and the? You think it's like a marketing mishap? Do you think it's more nefarious in your case? Is what you're referring to? Is like
I think it's evil mind virus.
Evil mind virus.
What's my take? I don't know why they're marketing the way that they are. I mean, obviously it's to be more of an inclusive company because clearly they cater to a certain audience or whatnot. But I don't know. It could be nefarious. I have no idea. But I know that big companies like that have a lot of influence.
Like if El Presidente decides to do an ad, you might as well just put some Dominican niggas in it. You know what I'm saying? Or Tokischa. Shout out Tokischa.
Shout out Tokischa. Yes.
That's right.
Who's that?
You don't know Tokischa?
Oh my God.
Who's Tokischa?
I just own you. What do you mean?
She's an LGBTQ supporter, so you probably not like her. But she's a
whole different person.
She's the Dominican Madonna to me.
Oh. Yeah. She was Madonna's girlfriend at one point.
I gotta Google this.
Yeah. They talked or whatever.
She's like the biggest. She's the biggest female Dominican artist.
But she's the most
does she have a penis?
She's a girl. She's a girl, but she's very openly sexual about her sexuality, I guess. And then
she has daddy issues.
Yeah, she talks about it in her music. She's mad savage. Yeah. She's super vulgar.
This nigga know. She said, I know her whole life story.
I watched the clip. Tokischa, but I'm not here for her influence over the Dominican Republic. That's all I have to say.
Oh, you don't agree with like how she's
no, with her stardom, no.
Oh shit.
But that's not
conservative.
That's not for me. I don't care.
Interesting.
People could do what they want.
I like her music.
Yeah, I like fun to listen to and vibe to, but I do understand the impact of her music.
What number is that? Okay, well, fuck it. I trust you. What's up? So yeah,
I doubt he's gonna answer.
Please leave your message for.
We do like Tokischa.
0, 6.
But I'm cool with Tokischa.
Musically,
Tokischa.
Oh,
she's an artist.
She's an artist. She does like Dominican dembow.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it's sexy. I like it.
I bet you do, and that.
But at the same time, like, if I got to be real, like, would I ever like marry or date Tokischa? I'd be like, hell no.
That's the thing.
You say what?
That's the thing.
Right. So it's kind of like the City Girls. Shout out the girls. Y'all already know I love them. But then you ask yourself,
which one would you like marry?
Well, I guess we play Fuck, Marry, Kill. Fuck, Marry, Kill. But,
Fuck, marry, kill the city girls.
Let's go. Oh, no. We got to add some more because there's 3 choices.
All right, fuck, marry, kill.
There's only 2 of them, so.
Wasn't there 3 at one point?
Nah. Maybe I was.
All right, fuck, marry, kill.
Nah, I'm fucking around.
The City Girls and Nicki Minaj. Fuck, marry, kill.
That's a good one. Because Nicki Minaj got that paper.
You marrying Nicki Minaj, it looks like. So which one you fucking, which one you kill?
I gotta secure my future, B. You know, like, I ain't gonna lie, she got a lot of money, man. You know.
All right, so you marrying Nicki Minaj, so now you got the City Girls.
We were talking about the sugar mama shit.
Fuck or kill.
I can't kill none of them, for sure.
So you
Because I love.
Let me stop messing with your paper.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Because I was like, they're like, I don't even see them like that. You know, they're just like, I was, you know, being a, you know, part of the story so far. It's so early in the beginning, like, they like, it's insane.
They're like legit professional acquaintances, so.
Legit professional. So I wouldn't.
Let me stop.
You heard? Yeah. Let's move on. You trying to get niggas case stuff, nigga.
Now, are we ready for wind turbine? You know what's crazy? We started
wind turbines.
we opened with that and just left it hanging. There's some like climate change activists still waiting.
It was like, yeah, I'm ready to find out what's up with these wind turbines. Yo, y'all niggas fucked up. Them joints don't actually work the way they supposed to work.
Wind turbine don't work. Solar don't work. We're just helping the Chinese take over. It's all about nuclear.
And they killing the bald eagles.
I don't believe
when I found out they was killing the bald eagles, get those goddamn big ass fans out of here, man.
Climate change isn't real.
If you really wanted to do something, provide more box fans for the niggas in the hood, because shit getting hot. It's hot outside, son. It's a different type of summer. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is a real different type of heat out here, my G.
Yeah.
I hate sweating. And that shit be hot. From the moment I go from here to the car, I'm already in a fucking sweat. So all you other niggas that's denying fucking global warming, I don't remember summers being this hot.
Yeah.
This shit hot.
Definitely recognize the difference.
Oh, God.
When we were kids. Till now,
this shit ain't hot.
It's different.
It's the same floor.
This nigga text me.
Winter is different.
No. This nigga text me. He said, make sure the studio is cold because I'm wearing a hoodie. Because at night in Miami,
we're indoors, motherfucker.
It's hot.
But it's not even that bad outside. I was outside in my hoodie.
I promise you, we can take a break. We'll be in that bitch sweating in 5 minutes.
Outside's not that bad right now.
I used to me.
Climate change isn't real.
Climate change is real.
It's a psyop. Propaganda.
Shit. See, now my nigga on his shit. Now we about to get canceled.
But all right, check out my true opinions on OnlyFans. Link down below.
Yeah, because you already got us fucked up with YouTube. I was proud too. I was just like, yo, I knew we had it in us.
Final topic.
Final topic.
First thing that popped into your head. Go. First thing. It's literally first thing that comes to your head. I'm
glad he asked you because I'd have been fucked up.
Yeah.
How many hours of sleep do you typically get?
I don't know. I'm the type of person that I schedule my sleep. Like I
How many hours?
I try to get at least 5 to 8 hours of sleep a day.
Okay.
That's good.
What about you?
That's healthy.
Yeah, I try.
I'm not healthy. I operate probably like 4 hours, but I'm on this new regimen of supplements that tend to keep me up a lot.
Cocaine.
That's it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Energy.
Yeah, I go for 6 to 8 hours.
You should. Sleep is so important to the process of being functional. I find myself trying to like recharge my battery in the morning through other elements, using other, devices.
I'm also weird. I'm weirded out by sleep. The time travel aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean?
The time travel aspect of it, whereas you sleep and wake up, and the time in between is the twin of
gone.
Yeah.
and it's the twin of death.
A whole life, yeah. Literally.
Well, it's exactly what I mean when I tell people when I used to. The biggest thing about being an atheist was like the concept of death, right? So everybody be like, what happens to me when I die? And I was like, well, what happened to you before you was born? It was like the same exact thing. You just don't exist. So when you understand that element of the experience, it gets less scary. It's just like, okay. I probably have a way cynical concept of this existence, but it helps me process and leads me to a greater appreciation where I could say, I'm so thankful that I got to sit down here with two people that took the time out to come to my humble abode and share some conversation and dialogue, and for us to exchange ideas, and nobody, even with people believing what they believe in, will leave here and said, we're probably gonna do it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I try to enjoy the present moment, but I can't help but feel some level of sorrow in the fact that, we talk about Neuralink, we talk about AI, and we were having this conversation about how we are the same distance away from 2006.
And we racist because we never talked about the Mexican flag.
That we are the same.
The little girl, like she got
the banning of Mexican flag. Yeah. Oh, yes. We could touch on that real quick. We got 10 minutes, but no, we talk about AI, Neuralink, we talk about all this technology. We are the same distance right now at the time of this recording. We are the same distance away from 2006 that we are from 2040. And that, that like realization of just the passage of time, it's like, man, what technology, what things are we going to miss out on because we only have a finite time on Earth? If we live to the...
That's what makes me sad.
If the three of us reach the limit to
70.
No, the limit of human existence, which is like around 120 or something like that.
Okay.
We're still going to miss out on so much.
Yeah.
And that's why a part of me prays and hopes that reincarnation is a thing. This actually is.
You would want to reincarnate?
Yeah. Oh, no, in this sense where I don't know what my past life was. I don't know that I was actually conscious as but
what's the point
of female in Morocco?
But what's the point of reincarnation if you can't bring back the
none of that
first
old
iteration?
Life matters. Like if you do reincarnate,
it doesn't matter. But I am still going to
it brings you solace to understand that some form of iteration of your energy.
If I am currently a conscious energy,
that's where we need it kept.
Yeah, if I'm currently a conscious energy experiencing life on Earth in this vessel, whether or not I retain the memories of this vessel doesn't stop the fact that I will be in reincarnation. Yeah. I will be a conscious energy experiencing life in some other vessel. Yes, it doesn't matter to this vessel.
Yeah,
but it's still whatever I call me. It's still me existing on Earth, experiencing those things.
You come back as a worker, ain't it?
Yeah, man.
Well, that's cross species in reincarnation.
That's what makes the experience special.
Where's the rule book?
I want to read. Oh, exactly. There is no rule book
that I can reincarnate as a human.
It's made up.
Yeah, all right, then.
We won't know. It's one of those things we won't know.
If I had the power to reincarnate,
we won't know until we die.
You say what?
I said if I had the power to reincarnate, I'd rather be an alien.
Okay, why so?
Because being human sucks.
Okay. Here's a psychology question that you made me think of. It's not completely related, but you made me think of it. You have to pick a superpower. You will be the only person on Earth with this superpower. No one else on Earth would have a superpower. Just one off. You're going to be the only person on Earth with this superpower.
Superman.
With a superpower. Yeah. Invisibility or flight.
That's a good one.
Invisibility.
Okay.
You know what's crazy? She said what I said. That ain't in my head. As soon as you said, I was just
fly, but if you're invisible, there's so much more you can do with that. Like you could be around people they don't even know. Get information.
I can play the game. You know what I'm saying? Being able to fly from here as a bitch, I can take a jet. Facts. I cannot be invisible. Like be invisible and be like, Nigga, I'm gonna walk
That's
in this
interesting.
bank.
I also chose. I also chose invisibility. So
Because it seems the most logical choice.
Yeah.
no, but I'm trying. I brought it up because it just came up. But there's the connections. Like invisibility is someone who's more, I think, introvert, and then flight will be someone who's more. I forgot the connection.
I see the connection. But it makes sense.
that makes sense.
You know we got
It makes sense.
we got to do with Maddie one episode.
What?
Mushrooms.
No,
Oh shit. Okay,
No.
not mushrooms.
the
You did mushrooms before?
well that too.
Oh,
No,
That's for
we can't.
OnlyFans.
I know you see our new decor.
Stay tuned.
Stay
No,
tuned.
but the test. Where you close your eyes.
the little box
No,
shit.
don't say
Okay,
anything.
all right, sorry.
Because you can't know anything. It has to be.
Them
on it.
niggas did that test on me. I ain't gonna lie.
Did we record? We recorded that.
I don't think we recorded
I'm
it.
pretty sure we did. It's in some lost tape or
It's
something.
a lost tape.
But
Sounded-
we got to do Maddie, or we can do both at the same time.
It was like a box and a horse. That's all I remember, man. I'm sorry, man. I don't want to infect it. Oh, that's a kept word.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, right. Because we protect our corporate anonymity.
I don't know.
Right? I don't know. I'm not good at this part. I should never just started this show.
Be professional. But yeah, so we're gonna do it. It's a psychological test. Don't worry, you won't be hurt physically.
This was the easiest show to run, a 2-hour runtime, because I know you got to go.
Yeah.
We ain't going to keep you up.
Sleep.
10 o'clock.
Great topic. Great topic.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
What?
Your performance this show, not as your performance in the last show was bad, but just like you came in here, you was just on some like, I just want to say I appreciate it for taking the time. You know, right now we ain't making no money, but in hopes that we will, get to a place where we're monetized and we're rolling in the dough. And I'm just impressed with just, like showing up and performing and really being engaged with the conversation. That's to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of guy
I
that
always saw myself doing this.
In this space.
It's what I love, yeah.
I'm the type of guy. Actions speak louder than words, right? And we've done this long enough to know that to have
2020.
to have people, to have anyone come here consistently to do this, not everyone has that in their character. So
I mean,
we're grateful that you
Thank
you're
you.
willing
Happy
to
to
join
be
us.
here.
And
so you trying to say I see greatness?
there we go. Yeah,
Give me a bump.
Yeah, you might have a talent.
It's a little narcissism. Nah, but I really do appreciate it, man. You came and you came and delivered like I love it, man. This is awesome. Loving it, man. Any closing thoughts?
closing thoughts. As much as I want to cry about being here in the future to witness it, I can't. So that's just a memento mori. Remembrance of
Psychological acceptance.
death. It just makes it that much more powerful and meaningful to enjoy the time you have, enjoy the experiences you have. Not there will never be another person like you enjoying your qualia.
You.
It's true. Stay authentic.
Last thoughts, Adia?
This nigga is crazy. All right, so let me tell you something. Every moment, every opportunity that you're breathing is gifted. I just told him while we were buying, what the fuck we were buying online at Walgreens? Like Red Bulls and like tonic water or some shit. And I
With malaria medicine.
Be thankful. If you're living, she got 380 calories. That's
Right,
fucking one of my
thankful.
caloric deficit. Yeah, right. Be thankful.
That's the whole bottle.
Okay, I ain't drink the whole bottle. In my research of the concept of free will, and in my research of the greater answers of life, I got to a place where what was it all for? Like I tell people all the time, like you can live a productive life without knowing the shit that I studied or researched. Not to say that what I'm saying is true, but you don't necessarily need this to live a fruitful life. It's almost when we were listening to John, who is a person. I'm bad at this. All right. Y'all niggas need like, what do you call it? JD. Yeah, Conan. JD.
Yeah, that person.
I can understand the willingness to have ignorance is bliss. Because in the grand scheme, based on my research, it basically made me, or at least I had to search for the positive, which was appreciate the opportunity that I'm so special. You know, like if you think about it, you was a little sperm out of how many sperms you think was trying to get through the urethra?
I was a big sperm. And I was the only one that mattered.
That's the Dominican side. You know, I was the biggest sperm.
And shout out to JD. We look forward to having you back on the podcast.
You know, appreciate the very special and unique chance you got to be here. And even though whatever you do wouldn't matter, make it matter to you.
Yeah.
You got one spin on this earth.
That's it, buddy. I think, right? Scientifically. Maddie, you up.
My final thoughts are
AKA Miami Bay.
stay great.
That's
all I gotta say.
Stay great. Less is more. And there you go. There you have it.
It's another episode of
Red Solo Talk.
Red Solo Talk.
With the new co-host.
With the new co-host, Maddie, aka Miami Bay.
You heard?
Hey.
Uh-oh. I gotta come up with a lower third.
And to my right, we got.
Of course. All the time. Well, you
gotta say your name.
It's kind of redundant. You know. You can say. All right, Audio Jones. And with the hostess that know the mostest,
Manny El Fuerte. And this has been
another episode
of Red Solo Talk. Until next time, bye.